This is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 186. I got a request for a podcast topic. Thank you very, very much to this beautiful, beautiful soul that sent me this question. Hi, could you do a podcast on malabsorption? Sometimes I'm wondering if it's my case. Not all the time, it varies, but sometimes I eat a lot and it feels like I'm still hungry at the end of the day. Like today, I ate a big smoothie in the morning, 5 bananas and 1 whole pineapple. Lunch was a smoothie, 6 bananas, spinach, and coriander, which I think is cilantro. And dinner was a raw vegan taco salad, 3,000 calories approximately, and I'm still hungry. It does that almost every time I try to stay raw a whole day long, instead of raw till 4. Does a colonic help for that? I have an appointment in January. Anyway, sorry for the long text. Love you, and I love listening to you. Well, she wrote, thank you, and I love listening to you. Well, thank you very much for this question. First of all, I don't believe that that's 3,000 calories. So hold up. 5 bananas is 500 calories. 1 whole pineapple is about 200 calories. 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then the 6 bananas, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 1,300 calories. I doubt that your raw vegan taco salad was 1,700 calories. That doesn't seem right. So off the bat, I'm thinking that your calories are off. That's number 1. Number 2, you're eating very, very healthy. This is a good amount of food for sure. I always recommend that meals should be between 5 and 1,000 calories. So this looks good. I feel strongly that perhaps you're not eating enough. Are you exercising? That could be the issue. You're burning more calories than you're eating. And that's why you're still hungry. And so up your calories, boo. Maybe you want to put in some dates into the smoothies to make it even higher in calories. Maybe you want to have some more fruit between meals, okay? For me, eating raw, it's very easy because I love to eat. And so I love this lifestyle because I don't have to limit myself ever. I can eat as much as I want, or as much as I can afford, or as much as I can find, And the lifestyle is not cheap, for sure, but living life is not cheap anyway, right? I mean, I spent a lot less on food when I used to eat bagels. I used to eat a bagel for breakfast and lunch a lot because it was only $1. And so, you can't beat that, right? I do understand when some people say that they can't afford to be raw. Well, everybody can afford to be raw because bananas are very, very cheap. Apples are very, very cheap, especially non-organic. But everybody doesn't want to be raw when they can't afford it, right? I mean, how much better is it to eat mamey sapote and black sapote and as many persimmons as you want? And, how much better is life when you have a lot of money? Sure, money helps a lot. It's not everything, and it doesn't make you happy, but it makes things way easier. I'm not going to say that it doesn't. I had money most of my life. Most of my adult life, I had money. Made things a lot easier. I was able to treat my sister and get her whatever she wanted and have these amazing big parties for her, holidays. I remember one Christmas I spent like over $1,000 just on gifts for her. And it made me so happy. It made me so, so happy to see her like opening all the gifts. And like my sister was just so grateful. You could give her a rock for Christmas and she would just start crying in gratitude, like happy tears, Like you could paint a picture on a rock and she would be so grateful for it. But I really miss those times, and I missed her. And I always will, and you always will if you lost somebody. But that's not the point of this podcast now, is it? Oh, sorry, I went on a tangent a little bit. But I just want to wrap this up by saying I would personally recommend to you to just eat more if you're hungry. Raw till 4 is super healthy as well, but if you want to be raw, you can do it. You've got to eat more. And yes, colonics, very, very good idea because they can absolutely affect malabsorption. And here's how. So over the years, when we eat dead animal body parts and processed foods and chemicals and toxins, that stuff gets trapped in our large and small intestines, okay? It gets trapped by the villi that lines our intestines. And it causes bad issues because it's sticky residue that it gets very, very hard, okay? And what happens is, it causes a lining, mucus lining to form in the colon, in the large and small intestine. And so the nutrients from our raw food, from the bananas and the pineapples that you're eating and the salads, can't get in, can't get through. So this is a really good thing. This is a good guess, I would say. Definitely get a colonic. You might need a series of colonics. I know that I had a series of 4, and that really helped me to start absorbing the nutrients, yes, from the raw food. This is a really good guess, so I would say you're on the right track. Get that colonic, boo. Get that colonic, and never say sorry for sending me an email. And this email was not long, by the way. People send me like epic poems, okay? People send me long emails. This was a very short one, boo, so don't worry about that. And I know you asked for my book as well, so I will send you that. And I think this is very possible. In the meantime, I would love for you to have more greens or green juice specifically if you can. I don't know if you have a juicer, but green juice is great for breaking down that mucoid lining, that mucus lining that has formed in our intestines, protecting us from the food that we were eating. You know, the body's always trying to heal. 365 days a year. It never takes off, ever. Ever. And so what it does is it forms mucus in the body to protect us from the toxins. But the mucus causes a lot of issues like malabsorption. Sure. Yeah, this is very possible. This is a great question. I hope you go through with the colonic. Colonics are super safe as long as you go to a certified colon hydrotherapist. They're very beneficial. I highly recommend them. I can't wait to get my yearly colonic. Actually, thank you for reminding me, boo. I'm going to be in New York soon, and so I'm going to get a colonic probably next week or something. I like to get one once a year just to keep on top of that, because it's like we go to the doctor, normal members of society go for a checkup, Well, colonics are like my yearly checkups. I don't know how often people in society go to the doctor, like every 6 months or something for a checkup. Well, colonics are my every year checkup, my yearly checkup. Because even though I'm eating a healthy raw vegan diet for the last 11 years, toxins still build up in me from the water, from the air, from my negative thoughts. Ooh, did you know? Ooh, from the pesticides that I might eat, because I don't eat 100% organic all the time. No way. Can't do it. Sometimes I can't find organic, melons or papayas, or I definitely can't find organic tropical fruit. Okay? Organic doesn't really mean much these days because these companies, they just pay for the label. Who knows? There could definitely be pesticides. In fact, they're allowed to have pesticides on organic food. And so colonics help me to release that stuff that is hard to get out, because these toxins, these pesticides, these chemicals, the body's very confused when we eat these. And so they might stay in our bodies a bit longer than we want. So anyway, I hope this answers your question. I won't say your name because sometimes people don't want me to say their names. But please, if you have a question or any topic you'd like me to cover, please send me an email, jd@Ms.FitVegan.com. That's jd@Ms.FitVegan.com. And there's no period in the misfit on my email. And I would absolutely love to address your question, comment, or concern. It really helps me out. It makes me feel like I'm providing some type of value to the world. And that's really important for me. That's one of my core needs, to feel valuable, to feel like I'm helping one person at least. And I just thank you very much for this opportunity. And it sounds like you're on a really good path. It sounds like you're eating super, super healthy. And it does also sound like you're overestimating the amount of calories you're eating, though. I could be wrong, but that doesn't sound like 3,000 calories, boo. And neither do I think we need 3,000 calories. I think we need to eat when we're hungry and stop when we're full. Of course, easier said than done, right? Because some of us don't know when to stop eating, like me. I can eat forever, even after I'm full. And so I've been working on that for a long time now, feeling my feelings, all right? Listening to my emotions, trying to feel them and figure out what I really, really need, because sometimes I don't need food. I've eaten enough. And I know that because I'm not hungry anymore. But food has been such a tool for me to deal with life that I have abused it many times in the past, even as a raw vegan, especially things like dates and nuts. Even ice cream sometimes. I used to make it late at night when I was feeling upset, when I was feeling anxiety and nervous. But because I've put in a lot of reps using other things like tapping, EFT tapping, and yoga, and journaling, and this podcast has been super healing for me, because I never talked this much in my life about myself. Like my friends, they listen to this podcast to find out what's going on with me. I don't really like to talk about my problems or myself. So this podcast has been very, very healing for me. And so I thank you very much for listening. I thank you for this question, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye, boo.